So this is the Good Ride review of the Rome National. That's Nick going to take a piss. To give you a quick summary, rode this a few years ago, had a great time on it. Got on it again, had a pretty good time on it again. Definitely a tale of two different conditions, and at least this board showed its consistency. It was the same and kind of messy, nasty, end of the season kind of spring powder on top of a block of ice. More snow meant than ice, but you know what I mean. And this National was fun. It has a very stable platform underfoot for a 154. Kind of twinish, has a little more setback on board for a powder day than the agent behind me. But let's get into the pop on the flex. You can see it's got a lot of mountain flex here. It's a medium stiff. You know, it kind of sits on that side of things. It wasn't that easy to butter. Here comes Nick.
Hey.
But, you know, in terms of the camber profile and just the on-snow feel, you know, it has that consistent personality in all conditions. It's semi-technical to technical, so kind of more for an advanced expert rider. A strong intermediate could handle this, but it would be a little bit more like the old camber days when you rode, and it could be a little more catchy, a little more technical, a little more unforgiving when trying things, but definitely more forgiving than like if this were full camber. From tip to tail, but it tracks well, 1 foot's flat base as well, has that just, you know, that semi locked in feel that you get from mostly camber boards like this. And checking on the table review, you can see there's just a touch of early rise in the tip and tail, right before the tip and tail. And it's kind of the edge hold I felt was very competent, and these didn't come to me brand new and pretty. They're still holding a good edge after being demoed a lot by a lot of different people. So that was really cool. And, you know, it's not perfect, but it can definitely hold an edge to hard snow, like snow meant. You have to dial it back a little bit. It's not like some of those disruptive side cuts, or even like the old quick grip side cuts from Rome's line, but it definitely has a good grip to it. Turn initiation, medium fast. Nothing amazing, kind of on the slower side of medium fast and on the faster side of medium. And that lends to that speaks to its wider platform underfoot feel. It just didn't feel like it wanted to do this like the Warden did. Wait, I'm pointing to the agent. Like the Warden did. That Warden was just amazing edge to edge and super turny and quick, where this felt more stable, like it liked wider drawn out turns a little bit more. It could still weave in and out of bumps and stuff like that, but it just wasn't super fast. But you know, this mostly camber profile with a healthy bow of camber, more so than some full camber boards I've seen, really had a good spring out of the turn, and it was a fun turning experience. I like, when I want to turn a lot, I like boards more like the Warden, but a lot of people like maybe a more balmy, drawn out S-turn or a big wide sweeping carve. This would be more fun for that, where that can do that too, but it likes that quick, powerful, and kind of circle carvy thing more. Wait, where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Dyslexia sucks with the opposite on the monitor. Yeah, I'm gonna start looking over my shoulder before I point. But this National 54, like the Agent 54, has that kind of pointy feel. You know, speed, very good speed to it. You know, it might be a little more chattery than you would think for the flex, but that's kind of what Rome does. But you get so much more pop and energy out of the board when the way it's designed, so it's kind of a worthwhile sacrifice. It definitely feels light and poppy and energetic, but you know, maybe a touch chattery, more chattery than you would think. But we were in some pretty nasty uneven snow, and speaking of uneven snow, it just, you know, it did a good job, but it definitely bucked around just a touch. Not super bucky at all, and I think they've done enough to dampen it. But and then back to speed, I got this base just nasty. It looked like somebody finished their season on it on the East Coast and then sent it to us, which is fine. But I gave it a good wax. You're welcome, guys. And thanks to the guys at Gravity Sports, they gave it a good wax actually. But this base has good glide to it. Once I got it cleaned up, you know, it's got good glide to it. Lots of die cut though, and you can feel it, just like all die cut. But it's not terrible. Switch was good, but man, the agent was much better. Agent was much better. It just had that true twin feel, or you know, almost twin feel. Where this like, you know, twin-ish feel was good, but just not quite like the agent. And that's a big differentiator between the two, because otherwise they have a very similar personality and feel underfoot. When it comes to powder, check the on the table review. You can kind of see how, you know, how much early rise there is, or how little, and see the setback on board. There's more setback on board with this than there is the agent. The agent is, you could barely set that thing back. You get that to ride centered. You know, with the Warden, you've got a lot more setback on board than this. So this is kind of that in-betweener. When it comes to park, I mean, excellent kicker board, just really stable takeoff, really easy to launch. The pipe, I prefer the Warden, but this is still very good, and it just all depends on your riding style. Jibs, not so much. There are a lot of better jib boards from Rome. This kind of sits more on the pipe and jumps, mainly jumps. I think this was my favorite thing. So overall, you know, fun, technical, mostly camber ride. Not for everybody, but some could have a good time with this.
I like the traditional Rome SDS.
Yeah.
You know, that brings me back to my era of the early O's, as you like to call it.
Yeah. One of my favorite from the early O's was the Rome design.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That stiff camber twin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was one of my favorites. I mean, and then of course like the Agent, and the Anthem, and all those boards.
And Machine. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyways, we digress.